Hey Smashers and Smashettes, it's Skynerd here from The Roost, bringing you today another episode of Inside the Mind of a Smasher, today featuring Banana Boy. Banana Boy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So, Banana Boy, tell us a little bit about the origins of your gamer tag.
So my gamer tag's really weird. I feel like I get asked this question kind of all the time, so I might as well just reveal it right here. So when I was in kindergarten, some guy, I brought a banana to school for lunch like all the time. And so some guy pointed it out and he's like, "Hey, you're Banana Boy," because I brought a banana to school all the time for lunch. And so that was like my first time being like quote unquote insulted or whatever. So I felt like really sad, and so I was.
You felt sad because of potassium.
Yes, I did. I did.
Would make you feel sad.
I don't know why I was really upset, but it stuck with me. So when I came home, I just sort of like, my mom could tell I was feeling down, and so she was like, "What's wrong, Sam?" And I was like, "Some kid called me Banana Boy." And then I like burst into tears. Ever since then, I've remembered the name, and my mom has teased me about it ever since.
It's a great origin story, though.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, so that is actually a really fascinating tale. Banana Boy, tell us some of the scenes that you're in, or what's your primary Smash scene?
So I come from the Utah Smash scene. That was where I mainly played. They have a lot of good players. They have Best Ness, then they have Valor. They have some really good players, but right now I'm up in eastern Idaho for school, and it's a lot smaller of a scene than Utah, but I'm liking it here as well.
Mm-hmm. What's some of the significant differences between the scenes themselves?
So Utah has I feel is a lot more competitive. People are really trying to be the best they really can. Here it's a lot more casual, I feel like, in eastern Idaho. There are some good players who are like really trying to push themselves, but in Utah it was more like people were grinding the game out constantly. A lot of that had to do with the weeklies. They were paid as opposed to in eastern Idaho where they're usually free. But yeah, I'd say that, just the competitiveness of it.
Do you feel like being in a different scene causes you to either become more lax or more aggressive in your playstyle?
It makes me play a little bit more. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how the other person's playstyle is. So like Bojangles, who's top 10 on the Eastern Idaho PR, he plays pretty aggressive, and so playing him a lot has taught me to be a little more aggressive. Whereas playing against Valor, I played really patient and defensive. So I'd say it's more so about the players that I get from each scene as opposed to just the scene itself.
I can definitely respect that for sure. So Banana Boy, tell us a little bit about your main. Who is your main, and do you have any secondaries?
So I play Yoshi, and I've played Yoshi since the beginning of Smash 4, and I still play him in Ultimate. He's better in Ultimate than in Smash 4. I think this is his best Smash game. And I also have an Incineroar. I just mainly play him for fun. He's pretty much my only secondary.
Okay, why did you choose Incineroar over any other Pokemon?
So Incineroar, I don't know. I played him for a little bit against one of my friends, and he just clicked with me. Like he's so much fun. His moves come out really fast. I feel like I like characters that have quick moves, and I like just janking people out and seeing their reactions. That's always fun.
Agreed. I do really like the play style and like the power behind Incineroar's moves. When you hit something, you really feel it. And that's such a big difference between a lot of other characters. So what are some of your favorite moves on your characters?
Yoshi's forward tilt is one of his best moves. It can set up for a lot of combos. It can combo into up tilt, into up air strings. It can combo into up air strings. It's really good just to like punish stuff. Like if you get a parry, you can just immediately forward tilt. It'll set up for really good combos. Other moves, neutral air out of shield is amazing for Yoshi. Probably the best nair out of shield in the game. Then his up air is amazing too. You can just string up airs and then read people's air dodges and keep up airing them.
I like that. What about Incineroar?
Incineroar. I like his side B a lot. It's really strong, and it's good for people who like to shield on platforms or just running up to people. And his neutral B is amazing too. I feel like if you just use those two moves at as Incineroar, you can really get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, giving people the good old-fashioned Alolan Whip. I definitely like that style, and I think it's really good for mix-ups, people shielding on platforms. You know, you jump up, people think, oh, he's going to up air. You give him that good old-fashioned whoosh.
Yeah.
So, Banana Boy, tell us, what's your PR placing currently?
So currently I'm number 2 on the Utah Power Rankings, and as of right now I'm number 1 on Eastern Idaho.
Nice. So you're quite up there at the top. Tell us a little bit about that journey. What's been some of your struggles reaching that ranking?
So when I started out playing Smash 4, I didn't think I would get PR anytime soon, if ever. So eventually I just kept losing and playing a bunch at a bunch of different weeklies, and then I started getting some decent wins on some PR players, but I was never quite good enough to get PR myself until one season where I just sort of got a bunch of consistent good wins on a lot of PR players when I think I got 9th on my first PR. So that was really cool. Fast forward to now, I got number 2 on Utah's PR, and it was definitely not easy because Valor and I, an Inkling player from Utah, we had like sort of a rivalry going on for a bit. I kept beating him, he kept beating me, and we hated losing to each other. It was pretty funny. We always just got like really salty after we lost. Yeah, I'd say in terms of like hard things about getting on the PR, it's really stressful to just every bracket you play and you have to be playing well, because if you lose to someone who's like unranked or whatever, like everyone's going to be talking about it and your rank's going to drop and people are going to like consider that for the next PR and you'll probably go down. So
yeah, I mean, I can see how it would be definitely really stressful to feel so much pressure to perform, and not only for yourself, but once you reach a certain status, people do tend to look to you for more advice or for guidance on how they should or shouldn't play against that matchup or against as that character themselves. So there's a big difference in when you're getting to PR versus when you are PR, in my opinion.
Right.
Now, why did you choose to play in Smash Ultimate over any other Smash game?
So Smash Melee, I used to want to play it, but then I tried it out. It's so like hard to do technical stuff. I could see how if I practiced a lot, I could get pretty good at it. And if I did ever want to pick it up, I feel like I would start out better than a lot of other people start out because I at least have the fundamentals. It would just take a lot of learning tech skill and things like that. But Smash Ultimate and Smash 4 and Brawl, those Smash games, they require a lot less commitment for single player practice. A lot more of it is focused on like the mentality, and I find that a lot of fun. I will always be down to just play Melee or Smash 64 or any other game casually. It's just Smash Ultimate is definitely the most fun and like the easiest to practice for all the Smash games.
I can definitely get behind that for sure. Now, you were talking about mentality. Tell us a little bit about some of the thoughts that are kind of going through your head if you were kind of down a stock and your opponent had quite a significant lead.
If I'm down a stock, I usually just kind of shrug it off and just think, what do I need to do to take their stock? Because if I get tilted, it always makes me play worse. Sometimes I'll just think, oh, I need to mix up my playstyle. This isn't working. But I won't think things like, oh, this sucks. I'm down a stock, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be really angry and play worse. Sometimes I will get tilted. I'm not perfect, obviously.
What?
Yeah, I generally try to just keep a level head and make adjustments in my play at the moment when I need to.
You said that you try to keep yourself in a level-headed state. How do you do that?
One thing I do a lot is I meditate. I try to do every day. I don't always meet that. I find that helps a lot in focusing just on what's right in front of you, instead of what's happened in the past or what could happen in the future. If you're focusing on the match that's right in front of you, it'll be a lot clearer what the answers to a lot of decisions are. Because if your head is kind of fogged up with like, oh, they just jank killed me at 30%, focus on the game that's right in front of you, I should say. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And I like that you have a set routine that you kind of try to keep to make sure that you are able to be focused in the match in that time, you know, and not have to deviate in different thought processes or, oh, did I leave the oven on kind of a thing. Not, and obviously, you know, no smashers don't cook. No, I'm kidding. But, that was a joke. But anyway, I am curious in regarding to mentality. I really like this topic. in regarding to mentality, what would you say is the main difference between singles and doubles? And which of the two do you enjoy more?
Overall, I like the format of doubles better. I think doubles is really fun. I think it's fun to work with someone and play against a team. It's really enjoyable for me. Whenever I get the chance to play doubles friendlies, I'll take that over singles friendlies anytime. In terms of what I'm more passionate about, I'd say singles, because I have more control over what's going on. Because I feel like if I'm teaming with someone better than me, then my results will probably get like kind of artificially fluctuated in doubles. Whereas if I'm teaming with someone like a little worse than me, my results will be a little bit worse. Where with singles, like my results are completely proportionate to my skill. In terms of like how I think about the games, in doubles, my mindset is usually something along the lines of just try not to get hit by too much of the randomness that's going on stage, follow up with my teammate whenever I need to. And if I'm playing a separate 1v1, just leave it alone, just play the separate 1v1. I don't need to interact with my teammate at all.
I see.
And then in terms of singles, I just focus on one thing, and that's just the 1v1.
Gotcha. I like that. I like being able to have the option to shift between the mindsets of, okay, now I have to watch out for what my partner's doing versus all the actions that are being taken are all from me, and therefore it is all my results. And therefore it shows people what you are truly capable of. While in doubles, it's a combination of the two. What you're capable of versus what both of you are able to achieve.
Exactly.
As a solid team. Now, Banana Boy, are you a sponsored player? And if so, who's your sponsor?
I am. I'm sponsored by Armada.
Nice. Okay. How did that come about?
I have a YouTube channel where I mainly make a bunch of Smash tutorials and everything. And so it was getting kind of big. I didn't expect it to ever blow up as big as it did. And so it was growing bigger and bigger until one day I just got an email from them and from Armada, and they said, here's what we can offer, and this is what you need to do. And I was just like, hey, I'll take it. Now I am currently a sponsored player.
Sweet. Very cool. Now, when it comes to newer players entering the Smash arena, if you will, what were some of the advice that you would give, one, to newer players just entering Smash Ultimate, and two, players that are trying to pick up Yoshi?
So if you're new, I'd recommend to go to tournaments over pretty much anything. Tournaments can teach you so much that you really can't learn anywhere else. They give you opportunities to play offline. They give you opportunities to play hours upon hours of friendlies, which really help you improve. They give you the stress that you need to get used to of competing in a tournament. And there I owe almost all of my improvement just to tournaments. Like, they've really helped me so much. In terms of Yoshi, what I would recommend to new Yoshi players, work on your combos, make sure all your combos work. I don't know. Yoshi's a pretty simple character. Just as long as you can learn fundamentals of the game, Yoshi should be a pretty easy character to use.
Right, and you can always find that on your channel for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
For players just picking that up. As we're getting ready to close out here, Banana Boy, do you have any shout-outs that you'd like to give?
So I'd like to shout out everyone from Utah. You guys are the reason that I've improved so much, and I wouldn't be in the same spot as I am without you. And I'd also like to shout out my friends. The current person who's helping with my videos, his name is Tanuki Toad. He helps me a bunch with like recording my videos, working as a dummy for all my videos. I don't know what I would do without him right now.
Awesome. We are definitely looking to see you continue to progress in bracket and in the PR. Hopefully you take that #1 spot. And thank you so much for taking the time out your day.
Thanks so much for having me.
You have a good one.
You too.